At my house, so we go to the laundry room. So just any room with no windows, crank up that TV, go in there. Again, we're going to be under the gun for until 7:15, so for about another 30 minutes or so. We'll see if it lasts that long. Again, it doesn't look like the rotation is very intense, so we'll continue to monitor that. Rose Hill, Rome, Gordonville, Neesmith, especially on the east side of town, Pleasant Hill. So some road names: County Line Road, Dorsey Town Road, Neesmith Road, Reams Road, and there's the community of Reams down there. So that was where, Dave, they were saying that rotation was likely centered in that community there. So if any of these street names sound familiar, again, there we go. Make sure you are in your safe place right now. That's going to be the lowest level of your house in a room with no windows. Crank up the TV so you can hear us, and we'll let you know when you can come out of that safe place. But right now, Choppy, that's another area. Hemingway. So we're right along the line here between Williamsburg and Georgetown counties here. So this is the county line, correct, Dave?
Yes.
Right there?
Yes.
So again, we're looking at Georgetown County and Williamsburg County here. So kind of like the northeastern portion of Williamsburg County, as well as kind of the northwestern edge. So I would guess it's about there.
Maybe a little farther west, but yes, real close to that.
West. Yeah. I don't know, is the rotation looking any better at this point? I don't know, we'll try to see. But again, all of these spots, it's really hard to pick out. And that's the deal with these. And Dave and I, we've been talking about this. Again, these are very quick spin ups, but yeah, I would say around in there, what highway?
That's highway 41 and 512.
512, okay. So 41.
Headed out to the west along highway 261 there.
Okay, all right. So again, Georgetown, Williamsburg counties. Dave, if you want to slide over to my laptop, I should have the chat open so we can see if they've posted anything new. Like I said, given by the way the forecast, not the forecast, the warning was looking, I'm guessing it's moving off toward the north and the west there. But again, Hemingway, Neesmith, Pleasant Hill, these are all communities. Reams, these are all communities that, again, you need to be in your safe place right now. So again, this is a radar indicated tornado. Again, we are looking at, and we are on Fox 24, we are on ABC right now. So again, we're going to tell you that you need to have a way to get warnings for instances like this. So would you say... All right, and again, we talked about this earlier, if you were watching us on ABC, when we're talking about Georgetown, Williamsburg counties, it's in between the Charleston radar, which is located in Jasper County, and then the Wilmington radar, which is located around Charlotte, so in southeastern North Carolina. So it's in between these two radars, so again, almost halfway in between the two, so sometimes it's hard to pick out where the best area of rotation is. So I would guess maybe about here. So would you say probably, yes, off toward the east of Neesmith, yes, and off toward Rome maybe would be an area, yep, right now. Gordonville, Henry. Again, you guys all need to get in your safe place right now as this storm. Does it say how fast it's moving, Dave? I'm guessing off toward the northwest at about 25 to 30, maybe even 35.
The last one was 35 miles an hour. I would imagine it's about the same.
Okay, yeah. And that's what the cell that we were tracking through Georgetown County was moving earlier. It was started around 35 miles per hour. So again, going to track over communities like Georgetown and Henry. So again, this tornado warning going until 7:15 tonight for portions of Georgetown and Williamsburg counties. Again, you need to be in your safe place. And we're going to be, unfortunately, probably dealing with more warnings as we head throughout the night. So download our ABC News 4 weather app. Again, it's going to alert you. Make sure those notifications are turned on within the app. That is very important, but we likely are going to have some warnings issued through the overnight period, and we want to make sure that you're awake if that warning is in your area, that you can wake up and get to your safe place. So Rome, Gordonville, Henry, again, those are all of the areas that are under the gun right now, so to speak. So that tornado warning is in effect for portions of Georgetown and Williamsburg counties until 7:15 tonight. Again, we'll continue to keep you updated as they come in. But again, these are just some of those outer rain bands, these feeder bands, as we call them, associated with Helene. But Helene, recently, in case you didn't hear, a Category 4 hurricane. So anything over Category 3 is considered a major hurricane. So it was a Category 3. Now, as of 6:20, the hurricane hunters investigating and finding out, hey, indeed, this is a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 130 miles per hour. So we've got tornado watches that span across almost the entire state of Florida through Georgia into South Carolina. So again, these rain bands will continue to move onshore. So look at just the span of those tornado watches. Dave, I don't know about you. I can't remember the last time we've seen this many tornado watches.
No,
at the same time. I mean, this is because this is such a large storm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a large storm. And so right now, again, and look at this, we've got a tornado warning across the west coast of Florida, one in Georgia. So 400 miles from the center. 400 miles from the center, we're feeling impacts. And again, tornado warning in Florida, in Georgia, and all the way up in our northern counties, so Georgetown and Williamsburg counties. So I'm guessing that the rotation's probably not going to look any better. Probably, you think at this, I mean, if it's moving that quickly, Dave, you think it's probably here between Neesmith and Hemingway at this point, would you say, probably?
It's going to be getting toward the extreme northeast corner of Williamsburg County, just about to cross into Florence County there.
Yeah, yeah. So, and at that point, it'll be out of the county. So just really broad. But again, just to show you that these are very weak. They're brief, but not to say that you should ignore them. Any tornado warning needs to be treated seriously. Oh, I like that. Can you go back to where, so we can see where the warning is? So Hemingway, Pleasant Hill, Neesmith, still under that area. They haven't shaved it yet. I bet they will here. So we're at 6:45. So we've got another 30 minutes with this warning. Very broad rotation there.
Yeah, Sonia, we're going to get a little bit of a break here for most of the viewing area because
look at this. Yeah, it's just these kind of these bands here, and these are going to be moving on shore. I was kind of looking at the rotation, wasn't seeing much rotation with that, but we'll continue to monitor because they can spin up very quick. But yeah, once we get that thunderstorm to move on shore, we're going to get a little bit of a break, like you said.
Yeah, the same.
Not worried about these.
The same areas are going to kind of get hit there in Georgetown and Williamsburg County because of that banding feature just coming on shore.
Yep.
And I can highlight that for you. It's just kind of going like right like this.
Yep.
So right through there.
So northern Charleston County, Georgetown, and especially eastern Williamsburg County,
And that's the spot where we've seen the last 2 tornado warnings.
Right, and they have a flash flood warning in effect because they're going to get some very heavy rain. And overall, we've talked about we're not worried about flooding, but localized flooding always a possibility when you can get heavy rain in a short period of time. So localized flooding, yes, that is a possibility, but overall, we are not expecting widespread flooding like what we saw with Debbie, with Helene. But right now, Georgetown, Williamsburg counties under a tornado warning right now. So it's going to be somewhere probably, like you said, it's probably
right along Highway 41 there, just south of Hemingway.
Right here.
I would say is the spot under the gun. I would say Highway 41 a little bit farther south of Neesmith there is looking better.
Yeah. I would say so too.
But yeah, it's that area heading up toward Hemingway, right along 261 there, through Williamsburg County and extreme northwest Georgetown County.
Yeah.
So very heavy rain there, certainly.
Yeah, not seeing any lightning, but very heavy rain. Certainly some gusty winds within that. But yeah, again, these are going to move through very quickly. So we're talking 25, 30, 35 miles per hour. So certainly not sticking around for long. And again, that tornado watch going until 9 o'clock, but we know that that's going to be extended. And Dave, I was noticing some of these earlier, these watches go until 8 o'clock. So certainly they're going to extend those. So I'll be interested to see, as they I wonder if they'll kind of extend those time periods kind of northwards to probably start with Florida and then Georgia.
Well,
but this is just incredible. Oh yeah. So there's the center of the storm, right? So Dave's driven drawing the quadrants there. So favored for tornadoes. So
and
that's
we're going
why.
to be in that section until about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we are. Yep. So that northeast quadrant, just the way everything is pushing on shore.
Well, and if you actually look at the storm, I just saw this as I was looking at it. If you look back at the actual hurricane itself, you've got a couple bands here that are really starting to take shape. There's the one that stretches just off the coast of Florida up to Jacksonville. But now there's another one really taking shape in off the Gulf of Mexico over top of Fort Myers and Tampa. And you see two tornado warnings in that actual band right there.
Yeah, here, yeah.
So that, and it's going to try to wrap that around the northeast side of the storm into the very early morning hours tomorrow.
Yep.
And as it does that, it's going to be getting closer to us. So, and since we're within a few hundred miles of the center of the storm, we're going to feel those impacts of those feeder bands no matter where they are. So until this storm really gets north of us tomorrow morning, we're still going to be under the gun.
And that's not going to happen until 8, 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Right.
So so we're going to stay as you know, kind of divided it there with the quadrants. But yeah, until the center gets, you know, off toward the north of us, we're still going to be dealing with that. So, all right.
I'm checking social media, Sonia. I don't see any signs of damage or anything at this point. And I'm following emergency officials in Georgetown and Williamsburg counties.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. And I did see in chat earlier with the Wilmington National Weather Service, because again, they do cover Georgetown and Williamsburg counties. They didn't have any reports of any damage from the earlier warnings that we had. So that was what day, from like 5:45 to like 6:15. Yeah. So no damage reported from that. So
Sonia, they did go ahead and cancel that tornado
warning. They did cancel this. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Yep. All right, so now the question is...
well, wait. It looks they canceled it for Georgetown.
Okay, so is it still in effect for Williamsburg?
Yes, and that's the area that we're watching.
So this is the Georgetown-Williamsburg County line. So now we are more focused. So I would really say, Dave, would you say, the Hemingway community, I was going to say that's really the area under the gun right now. So I don't know if we want to zoom in, maybe try to give people some streets at this point. So we've got 41. We know that's one of the main ones going through there. So if you know anybody on Highway 41 in Williamsburg County right now, please call them. You know, don't want to be driving out along Highway 41 right now. So we've got Garden Road, we've got Tupperware Road, we've got Radio Road, we've got Rachel Road. But again, the main one is going to be Highway 41 here. Trying to see if there's any other.
That's 261. It looks like it is headed right toward downtown Hemingway.
Yeah, it looks like it is actually. So folks in Hemingway, if you're listening to us right now, you need to be in your safe place. Find that lowest level room with no windows, and that's where you need to go. Crank up the TV so you can hear us. Here's a map of some of the places you can go. So lowest floor, interior room. This is what I talk when I go to school visits all the time. I know Dave does the same thing. What's an interior room? A room with no windows. So that can vary depending on your house. Laundry room, bathroom, could be a big closet, could be a pantry. Then you want to cover your head, use blankets, helmets, pillows. You want to evacuate mobile homes, and you certainly want to abandon cars. Don't ever drive under an or don't hide under an overpass. And you want to lie flat in a ditch if you can't get to a sturdy structure. So again, if you know somebody driving out along Highway 41, again, abandoning the car is oftentimes the best thing to do. But yeah, Hemingway, you guys really the community being impacted right now. So there we are right there. So Highway 41 goes right up through downtown Hemingway. So folks in Neesmith, Pleasant Hill, I would say they're fine to get out of their safe space. Union, Crossroads, again, you guys can get out of your safe place as well. But again, really Hemingway is the big community that I would say is being impacted by that right now. But these are just some of the bands, and like you said, Dave, this is where it's set up right now, and these bands are just going to continue to impact the same areas for the next little bit. And then we're going to start to see a break. We don't see a whole lot offshore after this. Right?
No.
After this,
there is. There's a nice little break in there.
So we'll get a little break. But for now, it's just that northeastern section of Williamsburg County that's under a tornado warning right now. Anything new, Dave? Did they say anything when they canceled the Georgetown?
No, they just said
I didn't know
cancels Georgetown and continues Williamsburg.
Okay. I didn't know if they said anything about, like, I'm guessing it's still moving roughly around 30 miles per hour off toward the north and west.
I was just going to say, Hemingway is still that area that's on social media that the National Weather Service in Wilmington is saying to keep an eye on right now.
Yep. Thank you, Bill. Yeah. So we'll continue to monitor Hemingway especially. But yeah, we've got another, 20 minutes?
Yeah. And that is getting real close to Hemingway. It's going to cross up into Florence County there pretty quickly. I was going to
say, you know that area very well, especially.
Yeah, it's going to cross into Florence County right around Hemingway. So Britain's Neck area up into Florence County. So yeah, I did work up in the PD for a while, so very familiar with that area, and there is a lot of swamp out there. Fortunately, it's not as populated as like the Charleston metro, but still a lot of folks do live out there in the Hemingway area, and we're watching out for you. So we want to make sure you stay safe. So right now, my tie is very crooked, but we want to make sure that the folks in Williamsburg County, northeast Williamsburg County, around Stuckey, around Hemingway there, that you are in your safe place, and that you are taking this tornado warning very seriously. So even if it's not actually producing a tornado, we know there's gusty winds in that thunderstorm, and we're looking at those wind gusts probably up around 75 miles an hour. Now, what that does, it's not necessarily going to blow your house over, but what it is going to do, it's going to knock over trees. It's going to knock over tree branches. That can cause power lines to come down. That can hit your house and shatter windows. And that's one of the biggest concerns, is those windows shatter and you get that glass breaking in your house. That could really hurt you. So that's why we say to stay away from the windows. And if you are experiencing damage in your area, do not attempt to do anything immediately, except dial 911. Let the authorities know where the damage is so that they can get out and appropriately deal with it, because there could be power lines down and you don't see them, and if you come in contact with that, it's not going to be a good thing. So just make sure the authorities are aware if there is damage in your area. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take a bigger view. Actually, we'll go in a little bit closer. We'll zoom right in here. So there is that area right around Hemingway. So you're under the gun right now, Hemingway, right along Highway 41. Sonia named off a few of the roads a little bit earlier. There you go, Williams Road, Good Earth Road. We're looking at Wildflower Road, Warehouse Road, heading straight up into Hemingway there, South Lafayette Street, Burke Gin Road, Tupperware Road. So these are the spots you really need to be in your safe place with this thunderstorm moving through with a potential tornado. Even if it's not producing a tornado at the moment, it is producing winds strong enough to cause the same amount of damage as a tornado. So that's why these tornadoes, when these tornado warnings come out, that's why you need to pay such close attention to them. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and there is our tornado warning. And as I go ahead and zoom this out a little bit farther, there it is. It's extreme northeastern Williamsburg County there. And our tornado warning will continue until 7:15. So we've got a little bit longer to go on this tornado warning. It really is right along Highway 41 there. It's getting close to where Highway 261 intersects with Highway 41, and that's right in downtown Hemingway. So if you are in this area, make sure that you're in your safe place. Now, not all areas of the low country are under the gun at the moment, but that doesn't mean you're in the clear. The tornado watch is out until 9 p.m. and the tornado watch is going to get extended beyond that. And here's why I know that. It's not a foregone conclusion, but in my meteorological opinion, it's going to happen, because this is only the first of the rain bands that's going to move through. Fortunately, it's not dropping torrential amounts of rain. It's mainly going to give us an inch or two, and we're expecting generally about 2 to 3 inches, maybe a little bit more in some neighborhoods here or there. But there are more bands setting up to the south and west, closer to the hurricane. So I'm going to go ahead, and we've got this one band here from Jacksonville out over the Atlantic Ocean. We've got another band here right around Tampa down toward Fort Myers, and there's going to be even more of these bands that set up just one right after another like that. So you see them lined up 1, 2, 3, and those are going to rotate up to the north and east overnight tonight. So I really think our biggest tornado threat is going to come real early in the morning tomorrow. And there you see it. I've highlighted 3 of those feeder bands, one from Jacksonville off the coast, off the east coast of Florida, another one right there that goes just off to the east of Tampa down toward Fort Myers. And that particular one, that one has 2 tornado warnings on it right now. So that tells me until this entire storm system gets off to the north of us, and I want to show you how far that's going to be. That's going to take a while because this storm system is huge. I'll go ahead and show you. So until that storm system, it's going to start to move more northerly, so it's not coming directly over toward us. It's going to take until about, let's say, 350 to 400 miles of tracking to the north until this storm system is going to shut off that tornado threat here in the low country. So it's going to have to track a long ways until the tornado threat is minimized here. And the reason I know that is because if we split this storm into quadrants, if we go across like this, so there you go, and we go like this, north, south, it's this northeast quadrant that really gets the tornadoes. This part right here. And that's exactly where we are for the next 10 to 12 hours. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely over the next 12 to 24 hours. But by the time we get to lunchtime tomorrow, this entire storm will be off to our north. And there's going to be a lot of dry air building in on the back side of this storm system. So once the dry air gets into it and that storm system gets off to the north of us, that'll really shut off the rain. It'll still be a little bit breezy on the back side of the storm, but the tornado threat by that time will be gone. So I'm looking at the tornado threat now through the overnight hours until probably about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if you're looking at a time frame here, it's not going to be all the time. It's going to be as those feeder bands work through, and it's really tough to time out exactly hour by hour when those will come through, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a break here as we go from, I don't know, 8 o'clock until about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we could see another one of those bands from about 2 to 4, and then maybe another band from about 6 to 8. So it just depends on how they set up overnight tonight. And this storm system is really going to evolve overnight tonight because it's going to make landfall. It should make landfall about 10, 11 o'clock tonight in the Big Bend of Florida. And once it does that, it's going to expand in size. The wind speed will come down a little bit, especially around the center of the storm, but we're still looking at wind gusts up over tropical storm force. So we're easily going to see wind gusts tomorrow, 40, maybe up toward 50 miles an hour, especially south and west of Charleston. Midlands, upstate, you don't want to be there early tomorrow morning because they're going to be getting torrential rain and hurricane force winds possible there. Not here in the low country, but if you head farther west, the weather will go downhill very quickly. I do want to get us back to the tornado warning that we're seeing. And the tornado warning out for about another 13 minutes or so. And that tornado warning is out in Williamsburg County, right around Hemingway. So folks in Hemingway, please be in your safe place right now. You're just off to the east of Stuckey. So it looks like if you are in Stuckey, you should be okay, but not far off to your east over toward Hemingway on 261. You're getting heavy rain, likely wind gusts up over 50 miles an hour or so. So this thunderstorm is producing some strong winds, even if it is not producing a tornado. Sonia, did you look at the velocity scope recently?
Yeah. Oh, it's just here. You want me to do it? I was looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You want me to take over?
And I think it's probably even a little farther north than that.
Yeah.
Probably right in the downtown Hemingway area. Yep.
And I was looking at it on another source, and not just very hard to pick out.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's moving. I was seeing if there was any updates from the Wilmington National Weather Service, and the last update they said it was moving north at 25. So.
I would think
It's
if
very broad.
I would think if you're living in Rome right now, if you're a little farther off to the south now, you should be safe right along Highway 41 there, down toward 512. You should be okay around Rome right now. Pleasant Hill, you're just fine because you're over there in Georgetown County. But it's right now, the area that's under the gun. Gordonville, you're probably on the very southern fringe of it. Hemingway, you're under the gun right now. So even if you're not seeing a tornado, you probably got some wind gusts up over 50 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
Wind gusts up over 50 miles an hour, that's going to knock over some tree branches, knock over some trees. Power lines could be down. So and
we saw that earlier. So we've already seen two or three tornadoes across the area.
I think it was two circulations.
One at Lodge in Colleton County, and then two in Beaufort.
Yeah, and I think that was technically the same one. Yeah.
And those did knock trees down.
Yeah, around Defusky Island and on over toward Bluffton into Beaufort County, and then that one around Lodge in extreme western Colleton County, right along the Bamberg County line. So I think I do. I have the storm reports right here. We can pop those up. So look at that.
Yeah, while you do that, so I'm just talking to one of the meteorologists actually that issued the warning, and he's saying they haven't heard any reports from the storm yet. Radar velocity has weakened, at least temporarily. So we'll see. You know, this may mean that they're going to cancel the warning here soon, hopefully. It's only going for another 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So there's one of those tornadoes. I've got it on the screen right there. That was around Defusky Island, 7 o'clock this morning. And I think it was the same circulation. It moved a little farther inland toward Bluffton. And
yeah, you're right.
And snapped some trees there. And it says possible tornado. So
okay, they just canceled the tornado warning.
Okay, so canceled the tornado
warning. So now
warning.
the question is, do we want to take a break? Where do we go from here?
Well, we want to make sure that everybody in Williamsburg County, that the tornado warning is over. So if you have moved into your safe place, you can come out right now. But if there is damage in the area, please let the authorities know immediately so they can get out there, they can start the cleanup process, and you don't come in contact with any down power lines or anything like that. So stay safe this evening. We've got plenty more of this storm to come because it's going to be with us all night tonight and into the early part of our Friday before things improve. Take a little bit of a break now and we'll get you more coming up here very quickly.
Tornado warning for, all right, can we cut this, can we get out of this break? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so we'll go wall to wall once we get back. All right, I've got it pulled up. I've got this pulled up. I don't know what you want, Dave.
There it is. It's not on shore yet.
It's about to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can drive both radars?
Yeah.
Cool.
From ABC News 4, this is breaking news.
Okay, so we do have a new tornado warning out. It's for Charleston County, and
Why don't they switch over to Max 2 real fast? There you go.
So here we go. So first of all, we'll look at this tornado warning. This is for a key part of the viewing area where a lot of folks do live. It's across Folly Beach. It's over onto Johns Island, James Island, right on through West Ashley, around around I-526, even the edge of North Charleston there, up toward the Charleston Airport, Dorchester County, even a little sliver of Berkeley County around Hanahan. Now, the other radar source that we had there, there's a little confusion on exactly where they think the rotation is with this storm, but I'm seeing some rotation right now. If we switch over to Max 1, the rotation is right off of Folly Beach right now. There it is.
Dave, there's 2 areas of rotation.
There we go.
I see what they're looking at. Yeah, it is basically right over Charlestown Landing.
Okay, so we've got this. Can you adjust this one up?
let me drive that one.
So here we go.
So,
We've got
I
one
don't know
coming
if it'll
on shore,
pop up.
southern
See
end
it-
of Folly
see it right
Beach.
there?
There's another one.
Yeah.
So right over top of Charlestown Landing. So if you're in this area right here, right along Highway 17, stretching on up toward Ashley River Road, this is the area that's under the gun. There's Wapoo Road. There's Highway 7. This is
Like Avondale
yes,
area.
right over top of there's Avondale right there. There's the intersection, Avondale right there at the triangle, and right here, Playground Road. So
Yep.
there is a park right there.
Yep.
And then as you get over toward Ashley River Road, we are looking at that rotation right there along Highway 61. There's 61 right there. So
Right in the middle of the screen there.
Highway 61, you're under the gun. So if you're in Charleston County, West Ashley, if you're in Charleston County, Southern Folly Beach, pretty much if you're in Charleston County, south of Charleston, you need to be in your safe place right now. At least the rotation looks like it went away right there, which is great because that is a very highly populated area.
Yeah.
There it went, right there.
Yep,
so
it's gone.
Boom, right there. So there likely was a tornado here, and that's how quickly they spin up. That's how quickly they dissipate. But we were looking at another area here off of Folly Beach.
That's probably why they made that warning.
So we're seeing 2
but
different
look,
rotations.
Now that's gone
There's
too.
The one. It's kind of hanging on right at the southern tip of Folly Beach, right there down toward the county park. So that's going to come on. Here's Folly Road. So it looks like it's going to stay just off to the south and west of Folly Road, heading up toward Maybank Highway here. So we're looking at 2 areas of rotation. The one right around Charlestown Landing, right along Ashley River Road there, and that's going to continue to move right along Ashley River Road. So up toward the plantations, places like Shadow Moss, and headed up toward Magnolia and Middleton Place and Drayton Hall. So we're going to see those continue to move off the ocean. So and Sonia, this was a band that we were looking at, and we said, oh, this isn't a whole lot.
Right.
It's that band to the north, but
quick.
that's how quickly things can change in a tropical situation. And we're not even into the height of this tropical system moving toward us. So right at the tip of Folly Beach right now, around the county park, it looks like there's some rotation there. Sonia, there may even be some more rotation farther off the coast here, about 5 to 10 miles off of Folly Beach right there. So we're just going to continue to see this rotation, and it's pretty hard to give the tornado warnings because they pop up so quickly and they dissipate so quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised, that one right there that was right around Charlestown Landing there, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tornado, and even if there wasn't a tornado, there probably were some gusty winds, enough to blow down tree branches.
Okay, so they're saying just recently that rotation was likely just due east of Shadow Moss, about to approach the 526 interchange.
Yep. So that would be right near the airport. Right there.
Honestly.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So and that's what. So
International Boulevard. Yeah, the airport.
the
Boeing's
airport's
right there.
Yep.
Yep,
there's West Montague. So it's
Mall
headed up
Drive, all those.
Aviation. So let's go a little bit farther upstream from this, Sonia, because it's going to move very quickly up toward Hanahan, up toward Ashley Heights,
Road,
Ashley Phosphate, exactly.
Hanahan.
So please take cover right now if you live right along I-26 in Charleston County. South Aviation Road. Even if you're not in Charleston County, if you're in Berkeley County into Hanahan, take cover right now because this thunderstorm is moving so quickly. It's moving about 35 miles an hour. And even if it's not producing a tornado, the winds could be strong enough to do damage, to knock over trees and tree branches. So what you need to do is turn up the volume on your TV very loud so you can hear us and get into a safe place. When I say safe place, that's a room on the ground floor of your house, a small room, interior part of your house. If you can get under some stairs, that's a good spot to be. If you can get into a powder room that doesn't have any windows, great place. If you're lucky enough to have a huge pantry that you can get into with no windows, good spot. And nobody has a window in their coat closet, so a coat closet is usually a good place to go as well. You just want to get away from those windows. So this circulation continues to move to the north, headed right toward Ashley Heights right now. There's Pepper Ridge Drive, so the Pepper Hill area on up toward Ashley Phosphate Road. There's Otranto, so it's going to continue right along Highway 52. It's moving very quickly. It looks like it crossed over the Ashley River. It originally was right around Charlestown Landing. Have you checked Twitter at all, Sonia, or X as they call it now, Charleston CHSWX? Sonia's going to switch out a mic right now. She's checking some of the other sources to see if we have any confirmation of a tornado. But right now, if you're in central Charleston County, please take cover. This warning does stretch all the way back to the coast. So the warning stretches all the way from Charleston County right at Folly Beach up through West Ashley. I got an update here. So marine warning, Charleston, Colleton County. So we're looking at even more strong and severe thunderstorms off the coast now. And this really isn't the main part of the storm. This is one of the very far outer feeder bands. The real feeder bands are going to come through overnight tonight. So this is kind of a preview of what we're going to be looking at. Right now, it's not necessarily the tropical storm force winds that I'm concerned with. It's solely the tornado threat. It's not a flooding threat. It's not a storm surge threat. It is a tornado threat. And that's what we're going to be watching. You can see in the other screen there, that is Hurricane Helene. And we are over 400 miles from the center of that storm. That means it is big. And it is creating quite a ruckus in the atmosphere, and that's why we're seeing the impacts all the way up here in the low country. But right now, there you can see one of those bands coming through right now. Sonia, could we get a look at one of the radar views maybe on this?
Yeah, sorry. All right.
Oh, you're good.
All right, let's see.
So Ashley Heights, you're still under the gun. Up
yeah, I mean, this is gonna. It
Road.
looks like it's gonna travel right up,
Highway
almost
52,
right up I-26.
26 and 52,
Yeah,
and they do run parallel. So yeah,
right.
it's going to run right through that area.
Yes. So, I mean, I would almost say it's like Bennett area.
So are you on Max 2 right now?
I'm on Max 2.
So let's go ahead and.
So they should switch over to Max 2.
There we go.
There we go.
Right there. This is.
So yeah, I mean, this is going to head
Dorchester Road.
Past. Let's see.
So that's Dorchester Road right there. This is I-526.
I'm trying to look at where the rotation is.
I-26. Well, and even if not, right there at Dorchester Road and I-526 at that intersection, some very heavy rain coming down right now. This would not be pleasurable to be out driving in. In fact, do not go out driving right now. Wait until this thunderstorm goes through. Can we take a wider view of that, Sonia? See what else we have coming in off the ocean?
Oh yeah, near Folly.
Yeah, so there's possible rotation there. There's possible rotation there. So this thunderstorm, as it continues to work inland through southern Charleston County and central Charleston County, possibly producing tornadoes, but even if it's not producing tornadoes, it's producing wind gusts strong enough to do the same amount of damage. So right now, just off to the west of Hanahan there, we're seeing some very heavy rain.
So they're saying the cell near North Charleston is weakened.
Yep.
Watching 2 circulations near Folly Beach.
Yep, and those were the ones we were watching.
And I'll pull up, I'm going to switch, we'll keep it on this one. I'm going to pull it up on your computer so we can watch the circulation because the rotation is starting to show up better on Folly. So it sounds like North Charleston pretty much in the clear.
Yes,
the cell is
so
weakened.
things are looking better in North Charleston. Still around Hanahan, maybe stay in your safe place because heavy rain and gusty winds there. And right around the split between I-26 and 52 there, where you've got the split up around Northwoods Mall. Just stay in your safe place for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we just get?
Okay.
Another tornado warning?
We
Or is
did.
this the same old one?
Okay, they just pushed an update, so let me see what that says.
Okay.
At 7:19, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near James Island County Park.
Yep.
Moving northwest at 25 miles per hour.
So that was that circulation we were watching come on
Yes,
shore.
come on shore. Yep.
Right around the southern tip of Folly Beach, right around the county park there.
All right, so if you guys in the booth want to take, so it's going to be like right there, Dave.
It's this one right here, and then there's
Yeah,
another
and then
one
there's
offshore.
another one coming
so
on
there's
shore.
this
Yeah.
one right here.
Yep.
That's the circulation,
Yep.
and that's real close to Maybank Road right there.
Yep, Maybank and
so-
Riverland Terrace. That's
Yes.
a community near Fenwick
So
Crossroads.
I know a lot of folks live in this area, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of new neighborhoods in this area. A lot of folks just moved to the area. This is a tornado warning, so make sure to get to your safe place. We're not talking about those big wedge plains tornadoes that are EF4s and EF5s. We're talking about EF0s, EF1s. They're small, they're mighty, they do some quick damage, and then they're gone. So if you're James Island, Johns Island right now, right along Maybank Highway and stretching back toward the county park there, you need to be in your safe place right now. Then that's going to continue to push across the Wapoo Cut there, and that'll end up into parts of West Ashley. So
Dave, look at this. If they can switch over to, sorry, we're bouncing back
there.
and forth.
We've got it.
All right, so
Yep, there it
look
is.
at how, you see how quickly, there it is. You
There's
see
one.
it right there?
Yep.
Look how quickly, now it looks
That's
like it's
one.
already up.
that
I mean, it
was
looks-
one. There's another one behind.
I know, but I wanted you to see that one. And now, here's the one.
That was the one around the James Island County Park.
Yep, so now we've got one. This is going to be like more Johns Island area.
Yep.
LaGreeville Road.
Yep.
This
So
is
on
actually
over
not far
to-
from my
on o-
dad's house, actually.
On
so,
over toward River Road, where
Yep.
River Road
yep,
meets
River Road's
Maybank.
going to be right there.
So
Yep.
there's Bent Creek Road. There's,
This is near Abapoula Creek.
yep.
Edenville Road's a pretty big road. It's going to be obviously off toward the east of that. But
Yes.
LaGreeville Road, Soul Legree Road, those are going to be some of the main streets there.
And then this will all push up toward Maybank Highway. So
Yep.
if you live anywhere near Maybank Highway, east of River Road, you need to be in your safe place right now. So we're seeing several of these rotations come on shore. There was one there, there's one there. They're just moving so very quickly. So just wait it out until this passes by. We
so
are
this
watching.
only goes till what, 7:30?
Did
So
they
that-
extend that any farther?
No.
We do
No,
have that until
till
7:30.
So for
it's
about another 8 minutes.
small circulations. We're not talking about the kind of tornado that comes in and wipes out miles of area. We're talking about maybe a neighborhood gets some trees knocked over here and there. And unfortunately, if some of those trees get knocked over, houses get in the way, power lines get in the way, that's where we get the damage. So if there is damage in your neighborhood, please do not immediately go out and try to clean it up. Notify the authorities. They can get the power crews out there because there could be down power lines, and we don't want anybody to be injured after the fact. We want you to stay safe through this entire process. So we're watching these one after another come in off the Atlantic Ocean. This is Folly Road right there. There's Folly Beach. Most of the activity has been on the south end of Folly Beach down toward the county park, and then continuing inland toward the James Island County Park. So this is where we're seeing the rotation now. There's Saul Legree Road, and there's LaGreeville Road. So it's out in the water right now. So we could have a water spout out there right now, because that's out over the water. We've got the James Island County Park up here, so it's headed up toward the James Island County Park, and we had another rotation that passed through that area a little bit earlier. And Sonia, this is what we were seeing a little bit earlier with those storms through Georgetown and Williamsburg County.
Yeah,
They're tracking
very
over the
quick.
same area.
Yeah, very quick. This is going to be very close to Royal Oak, that neighborhood. Mount Zion School is very close to this area. So folks there, yeah, need to be in their safe place right now. Dave, I was going to switch over so we could see if they've scaled back on the
Nope.
same area.
Yep. So, and
these are going to track up toward the north.
northwest
Yep.
at about 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, 30 to 35.
So this is Maybank Highway right here. That's Fenwick Crossroads, right near where River Road intersects with Maybank Highway. So this area really under the gun, and a lot of this area is marsh and water,
right,
and river and intercoastal highway. But
there's
on the other side of that, is West Ashley. So these are tracking from James Island, Johns Island, right on over toward West Ashley. So West Ashley, you need to be in your safe place right now because these thunderstorms continue to move right over top of you. And it may be several different circulations. So small tornado here, small tornado there. Even if it's not a tornado, it could be just a wind gust. And a lot of times you'll hear that wind gust and somebody will say, oh, that was definitely a tornado. But does it really matter if it's a straight line wind gust or a tornado, if it's doing damage? So you just need to be prepared either way. Whether it's a tornado or straight line winds, they're going to do damage. Here's Highway 17 right at the top. So these are moving from James Island, Johns Island, right on up to Maybank Highway, and then continuing to Highway 17. Those will continue to push through Charleston County, places like West Ashley, heading up to the north, up toward the airport, up around Lambs Elementary School there, along Dorchester Road. So these thunderstorms continue to move there. Now, most of the time we see those thunderstorms kind of head up Highway 61, but these seem to be moving over a little bit farther to the north as opposed to the northwest. So they've been pushing over toward places like North Charleston, over toward Hanahan. So if you live in those areas as well, please take cover now. Let's get a look at the size of that warning.
Well, also, I want to show you, there's some more rotation. It looks like about to move on shore around Folly Beach. So if we can switch back over to Max 2.
Oh, certainly, and that's right along Folly Road.
So this is that same area, again, that's still in the warning. But yeah, right there around Folly Beach.
Yeah, right in central Folly Beach. So Folly Beach, take cover as well, because I mean, these could be waterspouts out over the ocean that move inland and become tornadoes. So they're going to do some damage. So if you're on Folly Beach, especially from downtown right on down toward the county park, please take cover. Folly Road, you shouldn't be on Folly Road right now, especially headed towards Saul Legree there. That's where we're seeing the rotation, and that's going to continue to push right along Folly Road inland. So we're also seeing a picture of 17 at Folly Road right there, and the heavy rain is coming down. So
Folly Road DOT cam for you.
So, and that's at Folly and 17, correct? It says 17 Folly Road North.
Yes.
So, yes. So we're going to continue to watch this rotation come in from several different thunderstorms.
So yeah, Ashley Avenue, I mean right there, anywhere on Folly Beach, yeah, you need to be in your safe place right now.
And this is going to push inland onto James Island, so places like Fort Johnson Road, continuing a little bit farther inland onto James Island. This is James Island right here, so once it leaves Folly Beach, it's going to head on to James Island. There's Riverland Drive, so places like that. There's Saul Legree, so Saul Legree, really, you need to be in your safe place right now. There's Fort Lamar Road, there's Secessionville right over there, headed out toward Fort Johnson. There's Riverland, so that's going to continue to move right on to James Island. So there's Riverland, there's Grimble Road, there's Secessionville Road, here's Grimble Road continuing to the north, which becomes Fort Johnson Road, and this is Folly Road right here. So a lot of businesses.
171 is Folly Road, A
lot of businesses out there on Folly Road, a lot of houses out there on Folly Beach, out onto James Island. So please take cover now. Just wait this thunderstorm out inside. Turn up the volume on your TV so you can hear us giving you the warnings and letting you know the locations where that storm is, and we'll give you the all clear once it passes through. But zoom out a little bit farther there, Sonia, because you could see one of the other rotations there. There it was. And that moved through West Ashley, headed right up toward North Charleston, right around Dorchester Road, and continuing up toward the airport there, right at 526 and I-26. So they're just one right after another.
This rotation, especially on another source that I'm looking at, looks
Very impressive.
I mean, out of what we've seen.
Yes.
The most impressive out of what we've seen, for sure.
Unfortunately, it looks impressive.
Yeah.
So that's the rotation right over top of Folly Beach right now, stretching back towards Salagree Road on Folly Road. And this is going to move across the marsh and head onto James Island. So if you're on James Island, I know there's a lot of neighborhoods there off of Fort Johnson Road. So if you live in some of those neighborhoods, please take cover now. The tornado warning, it's technically out until 7:30, where it's 7:29, and I think it just maybe got extended. No.
Let's see. I'm not seeing. Let's see. Well, I can turn this off, and we'll see if it's still there.
So yes, still there. And notice it stretches all the way inland. The extreme.
Well, because those various cells
yes,
were, you know, I mean, and they
one
were so
right
quick.
after another.
Okay, they did just expire for Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester County. So that was all of the counties that were under that warning. So we're now expired.
Yep,
there it goes. There it goes.
So if you were in your safe place, some spots like James Island, I'd say still wait it out a little bit longer before you go check things out. And once you do check things out, if there is damage around your house, let the authorities know. They'll know how to clean it up. They'll know how to help you out. We don't want you to go outside and come in contact with a power line or anything like that, because that could cause some major injuries, possibly even death. So we don't want that to happen. If there is damage in your area, notify the proper authorities and they can help you out. Hopefully we don't have a whole lot more tornado warnings, and there is going to be a little break off to our south, but I don't like the look of these cells coming on around Edisto Beach. I don't really like the one around Beaufort there, Paris Island.
Well, and they are saying that they're going to, let's see, let's hang tight just a minute, because I'm looking at that rotation, and they had mentioned earlier
down near
that
Beaufort?
they might, yeah,
that one looks nasty.
That rotation,
that thing looks
that
nasty.
rotation looks the worst out of anything, and that's going to be actually
right around Paris Island.
Yeah.
So right around Paris Island on over toward downtown Beaufort.
Let's see if I can pull that one up.
And that's a little bit closer to the radar, so usually we can see those a little better, and there is some rotation right there. Right there. Zoom in a little bit closer on this, Sonia. Just off to the south of the B in Beaufort, right there around Highway 128. There you go.
Yeah.
Right there, and this is the Okatee Highway heading out of Beaufort down toward Bluffton, Shell Point there, Port Royal. So these are the spots. There's not necessarily a tornado warning just yet, but it does look like there is some rotation and possibly going to get a tornado warning around there. So it's going to move out of Port Royal and Shell Point very quickly, and then it'll head inland. It'll head up toward Whale Branch there and continue a little bit farther inland. So this is what we're watching now. So we may have to break back in. What do you think, Sonia?
Let's see. Why don't you guys switch back over? Dave, I want you to look at Max 1 real quick and see what you think about that.
That's ugly.
Around Edisto.
Oh, two of them,
I don't know if we can get, I can switch over and see what we're looking at on Edisto right now.
Well, in both of these thunderstorms, Sonia, the one that's moving right around Port Royal right now has a hook on the back edge of it, and so does this one that's just off to the south and west of Edisto Beach, and there it's moving inland very quickly. Boy, these things are moving so quickly.
I'm wondering.
These are probably even moving quicker than 35 miles an hour. And this is not what I wanted to see at this time of the night, because I figured we'd be seeing a little bit of a break until real early in the morning. Can we take a wider view of the storm, Sonia, and just show what's going on between here and the Big Bend of Florida where our storm is? So yeah, I don't like the look of that. See, we've got this line filling back in, and see how this feeder band here is really filling in. And look at that, Sonia, down in South Georgia. Tornado warnings there. So each one of these bands, and this is really what I was most concerned with the evolution of this storm. As it moves farther to the north, these feeder bands are going to become more intense, and they're going to be rotating right up over top of us. So band after band after band, this is the first one moving through right now. And really, for the most part today, it wasn't too bad. We got some beneficial rain. The winds weren't too bad, but late this afternoon into early this evening, we've seen the evolution of the tornadoes, first up in Georgetown and Williamsburg County, and then we started to see some through central Charleston County, mainly off to the south of downtown Charleston. And then there's this band back here. I would imagine if we timed this out, this band would probably come in about 1 o'clock in the morning or so. And then I would imagine there's going to be another band back behind that. So we really have to wait. There's the center of our storm. It's just off to the north and west of Tampa now, out in the Gulf of Mexico. And what we're going to have to wait for is this storm to get to about this line. That is going to take a long time. That's not going to happen until about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the reason I say that is because once that part of the storm, that would be all of this, is north of us, then on the backside of the storm, some drier air will work in, and we're not going to be looking at that tornado threat. We're not going to be looking at any rain threat whatsoever. Still seeing some gusty winds, but at least the worst of the storm will be off to our north. And I'm not expecting that right there. Keep in mind, this is the worst part of the storm. It's a Category 4 hurricane headed for the Big Bend of Florida. Some folks in Florida could see a 20-foot wall of water pushing inland. We're not going to get that. We're not getting storm surge. We're probably not going to see any flooding, which I hope we don't. The rainfall amounts here really aren't going to be a whole lot. The worst of this storm is going to go right up through central Georgia, up toward Atlanta, into the upstate of South Carolina, and there's likely going to be devastating flooding tomorrow through parts of western North Carolina, the upstate of South Carolina, and northern Georgia because it's hillier there. Once this rain falls on top of the hills, it runs down through the gullies and causes flash flooding. We don't have to worry about that here because our land is flat and sandy and it drains very quickly. The flash flooding threat up through here and the hurricane force winds, that's a possibility. We'll keep the hurricane force winds off to our west. That's why we're under a tropical storm warning, not a hurricane warning. The hurricane will stay off to our west, but it's big. Look at how big it is. It's huge. And it's pulling these feeder bands in off the Atlantic Ocean hundreds of miles from the center. And that's what's going to do the damage here. The isolated tornadoes as they come through. So we've got another line working through right now. We've got this one, and then there's probably another one. So at least 3 bands. That's what we're going to have to continue to watch. But for now, I think we're in the clear.
And nothing right now. So
honestly, hopefully you don't have to hear from Sonia and I until at least 10, 11 o'clock tonight when we do our regularly scheduled newscasts. But for now, we're going to return you to regular programming. If we do need to break in, it's because lives are in danger, and we will let you know about it. So for now, we get you back to your regular programming.